Hello guys, welcome to Adam channel where we serve you information right at your doorstep. So today we want to talk about how to get a scholarship to study abroad. So going for further studies abroad is quite interesting because it gives you a lot of exposure. You meet different people, and so you get new experiences, you make new friends, and then also you get to immerse in a different culture. It's also a great opportunity for you to learn a foreign language. But then it could also be very, very expensive. And this is why it is very important that you know how to go about this. A way of getting a scholarship so that you don't end up in debt while pursuing your studies. So this has been divided into two sections, and for today we are going to talk about how to find a scholarship, and then in our next video we will talk about how to go through the application process. Okay, so the first point that we want to take note of today is how to choosing the countries where you want to study. So let's say maybe you want to study in Europe. In Europe, there are so many countries, and then they speak different languages. So for example, if you want to have your studies in France, there are some few questions that you need to ask yourself. So do I want to study in French, or I want to study in English? There are some master programs or PhD programs that are taught in English. So even though the program is in France, but then the courses that you follow are international courses, so they are taught in the English language. You can also go to Germany. They also have some programs taught in English. Yeah, because I think that it's very difficult for you to go for further studies in a language which is not your original language. So it's already difficult enough staying in the country without having without being fluent in their language. So but that one is manageable if your studies is done in English. Yeah, so it's very important that you choose the countries where you want to visit, or the countries where you think you want to know more about their culture. I think that is more helpful. Yeah, so there are so many countries: Sweden, Finland, and several other countries who offer good scholarships to students or to international students. Now, after selecting the countries that you want to study from, then you go online to search for the scholarships for these countries. Okay, so you just go on Google, and then example, you write Masters in Mechanical Engineering Germany, or Masters in Business Administration France, or Masters in Public Health Belgium. So when you go to these sites, there are so many programs, so many courses that will come, and then you take your time, you go through all this and select which program suits you. Yeah, it's basically like that. I have listed some schools here, or some websites here that you can actually visit. I will leave them in the comment sections if anyone wants to just follow the link to these sites. We have Education in Europe, we have DAAD, which is Germany, we have Scholarship Portal, we have Campus France, and then several others that we can visit to get more information. Now, the third thing that I want to talk about is finding scholarships that fit your background. What do I mean by this? So there are so many scholarships, but not all scholarships are for all people. Some scholarships are for specific people. Example, for women in science and engineering, there are so many scholarships for them because women are underrepresented in these areas. So most of the schools try to give them lots of scholarships just to motivate more women in this field. Also, there are some scholarships for, physically challenged people. Yeah, so these people also get an upper hand, during the selection process. Also, for those of us in the third world countries, there are also some scholarships for us. So it's important that when you go online, you take your time to go through the eligibility criteria to see if you are eligible for so and so scholarship. I think it's important, because if you don't do this and then you start the whole application process, and then in the middle or at the end you find out that you are not eligible for this scholarship, you would have wasted lots of your time for nothing. So I think that it's important that you find a scholarship that fit your background, the program you studied, and then what have you. Finally, I want to talk about keeping track of the deadlines for the scholarships that you have applied for. Yeah, because one tip I want to give is that you apply for as many scholarships as you can, because you can't be too sure that the one or two that you've applied for are going to go through successfully. So it's important that you apply for as many as you can, and it will be quite overwhelming trying to keep all the deadlines of these scholarships in mind. So you might want to take use a calendar, or maybe get reminders, so that 2 weeks or 1 week to the deadlines you will be reminded to submit your applications. So I believe that these 4 points would help you in finding a good scholarships. And in our next video, we will talk about how to go how to fill the application forms, and then the necessary documents that you need to have in hand before applying. Yeah, so thank you very much, and I encourage you to subscribe to our channel so that when the next video is ready, you will be notified. Yeah, and share with your friends also. If you have any questions, or if something is not clear, you can just write under the comment section, and then we will gladly respond to you, and we wish you all the best also. Thank you very much for your time, and then see you